themselves. So welcome to the Power Hour. My name is Amy Starr Allen, and this is my partner in crime and good friend, Todd Geese, otherwise known as the G-Man. And yeah, so we're really excited about this. Is going to be a weekly event where we're going to be able to jump on with you guys and just really share some different strategies that are working right now to help you build whatever business you happen to be building. And also, marketing strategies as well as just mindset stuff that we can share that's helpful for entrepreneurs. And we're also going to be sharing some really cool resources that will allow you to build your business online. So we're gonna really be mindful about keeping it to an hour every week so that this isn't a long drawn out thing. It'll just be an hour, the power hour, and bring as much value as we can in that hour. And you'll be able to ask questions and leave us feedback in that comment box right there. So, like I said before, whether you're here live or watching the replay, please leave us a comment and let us know that everything's working. And I'll hand it over to you to say hello now, Todd, and then we'll roll into our content.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Amy. It's great to be here. I'm super excited about this. I got my coffee ready. I'm just ready to jump right in. My name's Todd Geese, and I've been in marketing for about 7 years now. And I can still remember what it was like when I first started out. It's tough. You start following just all these different people, and you're trying to figure out what to do, and you start getting overwhelmed. And then at the end of the day, you don't know what to do. You've got so many people telling you different things. So we wanted to share with you exactly the strategies we used when we first started out, where we started seeing results, that actually worked. Because I know there's a lot of conflicting information out there, and there's a lot of info, and a lot of people teaching different things. But it's kind of unique that both Amy and I kind of found the right information from the right people, and took a similar path to start getting leads and sales. And I know what it's like when you first start out. You're sitting there, you're like, you don't even have any strategy to get leads, and you can't get sales without leads. And then it just kind of snowballs from there. So we want to show you effective strategies that we both experienced and used to generate both leads and sales. And I'm just super excited to share this with you. So each week we will be sharing tips that not only are just something that we've known about, but we've actually used, and we've walked the walk with them, and they've actually worked. So great to be here. I'm super excited for this. This is the power hour. So let's get pumped up for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so one of the ways that I learned was very similar to this. When I first started learning how to market on the internet, I plugged into a weekly live training. And I never missed it because I would learn something new every time. And I would be able to turn around and implement what I learned in my business and get results. So, what's cool about a live training like this is that, we can bring you stuff that's working right now. We can also bring out some other people. I've already had one person reach out to me and say, offer to come out and share kind of something that's working for her. So, we'll be able to bring different people out to share what's working right now on, different platforms, whether it's social media or YouTube or, you know, blogging, whatever it is, but we'll be able to share different strategies and different kind of, like I said, the mindset stuff, but also just some concepts as well that will really help you. Kind of like what we're going to be doing tonight. Tonight isn't necessarily about a specific strategy, but it's more about a concept that we call learn, do, teach. And this is the strategy that I used right from the beginning. This is how I built a following on the internet, was basically by, learning something as I was learning, because, when you're starting out, you have a lot to learn, right? You have to, I'm still committed by the way, I've been marketing online for 15 years, and I still have a commitment to myself that I uphold, which is that I learn something new every day. I'm a student. I'm still a student. I'm always learning. And you kind of have to be when you're building a business on the internet, because everything is constantly changing. It's a little bit annoying sometimes, like Facebook changes their algorithm, or they change their, you'll notice like different features on these different platforms that are constantly changing. But technology is changing exponentially fast. Like it's changing faster this year than it changed last year, and it's just constantly changing. So if you want to be successful on the internet, you have to stay in the game. You have to remain a student, and you have to be consistently learning. And so that's what I do, because, helping people make money on the internet is my niche. So in order, so the cool thing about the learn, do, teach strategy is that you don't actually have to be an expert in your niche in order to implement this strategy. So, I'm using my niche as an example, but let's just say you're in something completely different, like the golf niche, right? You don't have to be an expert golfer to be in the golf niche. You don't have to know everything about every golf club and every golf course and every golf pro and all the different stuff that's involved in being in the golf niche. But if you do what I'm talking about here, and like what I do, and just be committed to learning something every day about golf, then you can turn around and teach your audience as you go. And as you do that, you become an expert in your niche. And so you don't have to be, this is the really cool thing about this. This is why you'll notice that when you start to do this, you'll start to have people will start following you, because you really only have to be one step ahead of people. If a lot of times people get online and they think, why would anyone listen to me when there's this guru out there in my niche, or these other gurus in my niche that have been doing whatever your niche is way longer than you. And, you think people wouldn't want to follow you, because why wouldn't they follow the 7-figure, 8-figure earner in your niche? Like in the golf niche, like why would they follow you when they could follow Tiger Woods, or whoever happens to be a golf expert. And the reason that they will is because people want to follow on your coattails. You're more relatable when you're not so far ahead of where somebody else is. And so if you're teaching a strategy, or, just something that you learned that day, let me back up for 1 second. If you feel the need to learn something, like when I was learning how to market on the internet, I didn't know anything. So I had to learn every little thing that I had to learn how to. I had to learn how to like write an email in Aweber. I had to learn how to put a link in the email. I had to learn how to put an image on my blog. Like all this stuff, it sounds like common sense if you're going to be an internet marketer, but I didn't know any of it. So every day I would learn something simple, like that. And then I'd be like, woohoo, I learned how to put an image on my blog. And then I would make a video showing how I put an image on my blog. And the thing is, if you're learning something like that, if you're going to YouTube or Google and typing in like, how do I put an image on my blog, or what's the proper way to hold a golf club, or whatever your niche is, if you're doing that, chances are now you learn how to do it, but chances are there's plenty of other people that still haven't learned that. So, you can then teach what you just learned, and people will start to follow you because now you're just one step ahead of them. So people will come back. What happened for me is people were coming back to my blog, and they were opening my emails, and they were going to my YouTube channel because they wanted to see what I was going to do next. Sometimes they don't even know what to do next. So if you're in the game, they can just follow you, and they can kind of learn what you're doing. So this works really, really, really well. And, like I said before, the cool thing about it is that you don't have to be an expert. That's what stops a lot of people too, like from getting started even in this online marketing game, is they feel like they have to be a complete expert in something before they can share anything. And it's not true, because again, in order to become an expert, I mean, in order to become a master, you have to study something for, what is it, like 10,000 hours or something they say, then you're considered a master. Um, there's a lot to learn along the way. You can always take your game to another level. Like even like I've been playing the guitar for 20 years or something now, but I'm still not, I don't consider myself a master at all at the guitar. Like there's always stuff, like I'm wanting to start taking lessons again, with a different teacher, just to learn some new techniques and stuff like that. There's always stuff to learn, no matter what niche it is. So anyway, so this strategy is really powerful, because the other thing that it does is it gets you out of that like writer's block, or what am I supposed to share? Like, why would anyone listen to me? I don't have anything to share. Because you just learn something, just go learn something, and then apply it, and then teach it, right? Learn, do, teach. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you, I have 4 ways, and Todd probably even has more. And I have 4 ways I'm going to tell you, like where you can get 4 different ways that this works, like different ways that you can learn stuff. Before I do that, Todd, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I think that's great. And I just wanted to reiterate what you said. When, when somebody's following like a 7-figure, 8-figure guru or whatever, they feel it's kind of like following your favorite movie star. You're just like all inundated and you're like, oh my God, I can't get that close to them. There's no way I can touch them. But when they're following somebody that's just 1 or 2 steps ahead, they can relate to it. And if you learn to teach as you're learning stuff and you teach it to others and you're like, hey, look what I just did, they feel like they can do it too, because it's not like, oh my God, it's like you said, Tiger Woods doing it or Michael Jordan doing it. It's just, okay, Todd's doing it or Amy's doing it. I can do that. So they can relate to it much better. And that's why you can build a following. And it's such a super strategy, because I mean, there's all kinds of benefits to it, because as you're learning, you can create content as you go. And like Amy said, you should never get stuck in content, because as you learn, you go ahead and do it, and then you teach it by recording a YouTube video, by doing a blog post. I'm sure Amy's going to go over some of this stuff. But that way, not only are you learning, you're gaining traction, because you're actually taking action and putting content out there that can be searchable for years and years and years to come. And in another training, we'll talk about that. But basically, it's just such a great thing for anybody. Anybody can do it. You can literally take notes, watch this live right now or the recording, take notes, and go out and create your own version of this and put content out there. And guess what? You can start building a following just by attending this live and this training right here. So I completely agree with what you said, Amy. And I just wish I'd learned it sooner, because like you said, so many people get stuck in the getting ready state. They think they need to know more. They think, oh my, I can't do this yet. You're never going to be ready. Okay. I can tell you that even after all these years of doing it, some days I don't feel like I'm ready, but I still take the action. And that's the best advice I can give you, is like, you're never going to be ready. So don't sit there and think that you have to wait for years and years and years to learn to take action. Start learning, doing, and teaching as you go along. And I'm telling you, that's the way you can gain traction quickly. Because if you keep waiting till you think you're ready, you're never going to be ready for what you hold your standards to. Okay, you're never going to be that 7-figure marketer until you start learning, doing, teaching, and then you will get there eventually by learning, doing, teaching. And I hope that makes sense. So don't stay in this stuck, I don't think I'm ready state. Go ahead and take action with everything that you learn, and go ahead and do and teach to others, and you will become an authority and people will follow you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, just keep in mind too, that a lot of times the 7 and 8 figure earner in your niche doesn't remember all the little baby steps that need to happen when you're just getting started. So they're not even necessarily the best person to learn from, which is why people will follow you if you're one step ahead of them. So, so I'm going to give you some, and by the way, if anytime at all while we're talking, if anybody has any questions, you can always just post your questions in the comments anytime. But yeah, so now I just want to give you a couple examples of where you can learn stuff that you can turn around and implement and teach. So one example would be, when you have something that you know that you have to learn, in order to take the next step. Like I knew I wanted to put an image on my blog, but I didn't know how. So I would go to Google and I would type in how to put an image on how to put an image on a blog or whatever. So when you go to the search engines, YouTube and Google, you're typing in something that you need to learn, something you don't know how to do that you want to know how to do. So you type it into the search engine and you learn it. So now that you know it, whatever it is, you can turn around and teach it. If you just watched a video on YouTube that teaches you how to do whatever it is that you're trying to do, now you do it. Now you actually have the skill because you've done it. I just watched a video like last month to learn how to put a new screen on my sliding glass door because I'm a single mom and I don't have a husband to do anything for me. So I've learned how to like replace a drill bit on YouTube. Like I do all, like, that's how I learn how to like take care of my house. Cause I don't know this stuff, So once I replaced the screen, I was like doing the happy dance. I was like, now I know how to replace a screen. Does anyone else need their screen replaced? Because I know how, So when you learn a skill, then you implement it. Like if I had just watched the video and I didn't actually do it, I would forget and I would have to go watch the video again when I wanted to replace the screen. But I watched the video. I was like pausing the video and doing the step and starting it again and then pausing it and doing the step. And the next thing you know, I had replaced my screen. So now I know how, and I have that skill. And it's the same thing. Like when I learned how to put an image on my blog post, once I knew how, once I did it, I had the skill. You have to actually do it, to get it, So anytime that you go to the search engines to find an answer to something and you learn something, you can turn around, do it, and then you can turn around and teach somebody else how to do it. And you can make your own YouTube video, and it doesn't have to be exactly the same as the video that you watched. You just do it your way. And you might do it it's going to have your voice on it, and it might be better in some ways. Like you might notice something that you in the video that you watched. When you actually implemented the skill, you might realize there was actually something that was missing from that video that might make a difference for somebody if I talk about it in my video. And the other piece of it is, even if it's very similar to someone else's video, some people are just going to resonate with you more than they resonate with somebody else. So don't be afraid that it's too similar to something else. Just teach it the way that you know it, and it's going to be great. Okay, so that's one way, is when you go out and actively search for an answer.
Can I say
Second,
something? Can I
yeah,
say
go
something real
ahead.
quick, Amy? I had a similar experience. Like, I am no mechanic, okay? I am not. I mean, I do the very basic, but I've got an older Mercedes, and it just every once in a while intermittently would just not start. And I did the same thing. I'm like, I have no idea what to do. And I know if I take it in the shop, they're going to put it through all these tests, and it's intermittent. So they're probably not going to find the problem. So I did the same thing. I went on YouTube and I started searching and searching, and I found the exact issue. And, I was so thankful that whoever put that video out there. And the funny story is, I was going to AutoZone to buy some parts to put in it, and it wouldn't start in AutoZone. So I'm sitting there in the parking lot, and I'm sitting there for like 30 minutes, and I'm getting frustrated because usually after about 15, it'll restart. And so I went in there, I bought a soldering iron, and I asked them for some tools, and I went out there and I took the part out, and I'm actually soldering this thing. I have to take it back in the store. I'm over in the corner, and everybody's looking at me like I'm nuts, and I'm soldering this little board, and I get it back and I put it in. And when I put it in, I started up, I was like Tom Hanks on Castaway. I'm like, I've created fire, you know? And I was just super excited because if that person had not put that YouTube video out there, who knows? I would have spent thousands on the car and they probably still wouldn't have found this problem because it was a very weird problem to solve. And so don't underestimate the value that you put out there. When you're learning something, doing it and teaching it, don't underestimate that somebody can't come back down the road and watch your video and be so thankful that they found you and your unique voice and your unique spin on how you did this. Because believe it or not, I still get followers to this day that are like thanking me for something that I didn't really appreciate at the time. I put the content out there and I didn't know, but they were like, oh, thank you so much. I was searching for that, you know? So.
Yeah, we take stuff for granted a lot of the time, you know, because we think it's so simple. Last night, I needed a jump start. You might have seen my post on Facebook today, Todd. I ran my battery down watching a video through the speakers of my car while my car was turned off at my daughter's soccer practice. And anyway, my car wouldn't start, and the coach was parked next to me. He couldn't figure out how to open his hood because he had a new truck. He got out his phone and YouTubed it. That's how we opened his hood. Like, he could not find the latch and whatever. And so people search for very simple stuff. So don't ever take it for granted or think, you know, like when I went to my first internet marketing conference, like when I decided I was going to learn how to market on the internet, I was pregnant and I was like, I don't want to go back to work after this baby is born. I got to figure this out. And I went to this conference and I was way more of a beginner than anyone else at this conference. There was a lot of like seasoned marketers there and I was asking questions. People were looking at me like I was, you know, like I had 3 heads. I'd be like, what's a domain name when they were talking about it? And, you know, like they would like say these terms. I didn't know what any of them meant, but I was just like asking the questions, you know, because I didn't know. There's people that don't know, you know, they know less than you know. So start where you're at, learn something new every day, and you'll never run out of content. Literally never. So another way that you can find content is if you invest in a course or a training or a membership site or whatever it is, where you have access to a lot of different content, it's a gold mine because you have everything that you need at your fingertips to build your business. But that's all stuff that you can also, you know, again, as you do it and implement it yourself, you can create your own version of that training and put it up on YouTube or put it up on your blog. So, you know, when you invest in a course or, you know, training or a membership or something like that, you know, not only it's an investment in yourself, it's an investment in your business, it's a tax write-off too. But besides that, you know, also start to look at it as a way, you know, you're becoming a master of your craft. And anything that helps you become a master of your craft gives you content that you can teach other people so that they, you know, maybe they're not a member of the membership site that you're in. So they don't have access to all that stuff. So you watch a video that teaches you, you know, how to rank on YouTube or whatever, and you're like, oh my God, this is so cool. And then you rank a video. I mean, even better, you implement it, you get a result, and then you share how you got that result. Because that really gets people's attention. I remember when I got my first lead on the internet, I was so excited. And I was like, I'm going to make a video showing people how I got my first lead. It seems silly, but people wanted to know. And some of those people, you know, I was obviously a newbie, right? I'm saying I just got my first lead. So I've just let everybody in the world know that I'm new, right? I don't know a lot because I just got my first lead. But a lot of the people that watch that video still follow me 15 years later because again, they're like, oh, I'm going to do what she did. She just got a lead. What did she do? And then they just start following you. So anyway, if you have access to, and I've always invested in myself and I've always invested in my business and I've always purchased trainings and memberships and things like that that have given me access to really good content so that I could learn it for myself. But it's also given me a lot of the content that I've, you know, to create value for my audience as well.
Yeah, and on that note, real quick, we're talking about learn to teach, and that's the exact terminology that I heard from my first mentor, and that's what he used to, build his 7-figure plus business. But a popular marketer named Ray Higdon, I was listening to a training from his years ago where he talked about invest, learn, teach, and it's the same concept. And I think he actually made a product out of it, like a invest, learn, teach, like book and video training series. But it's the same thing. It's like you say, invest in yourself, invest in your, knowledge, invest in courses, invest in your time, and then learn and teach it. It's pretty much a similar concept, but it's the learn, do, teach principle, and it's worked pretty good for a lot of very successful people out there.
Yep. Yep. It's good stuff. And, you have to be willing to invest. It's the cost of doing business. You have to become a master of your craft. And you can learn a lot by just going to YouTube and Google and stuff. But the problem with that is, first of all, it's not as organized as purchasing something in a package. The other piece is sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So you wouldn't even think to Google some of the stuff that you need to know because you don't know that you don't know it. So when you purchase a course or something like that, then, you'll start to learn stuff that you wouldn't have even thought to
Yeah, like
search for.
terminology, right? I mean, like I had no idea what copywriting was when I first started. I'm like, copywriting, what is that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Exactly. And that being said, the third way I was going to say is if you have a coach or a mentor or whatever, that's another way that, you can invest in yourself. And anything that you learn from your coach is material that you can, like if your coach tells you to do this to get better results in your business and you do it and you get a result, you can turn around and teach it. You can turn around and teach it before you get a result too. But definitely anytime you get a result, you can teach whatever strategy you used. It could be that you improved your golf swing. How I improved my golf swing. Your coach taught you a different way to hold the club or a different stance or whatever it is, and it changed your whole game, right? That's a piece of content. You can tell people how decreased your, I don't even know the right golf terminology, number of swings on the course or whatever by this
strokes.
simple tip in the way that I held my golf club. And it's something that you learned from your coach, right? So I used to be hardcore about CrossFit. And at the time, I had a CrossFit blog, and I made a commitment to myself to blog every single day. I was doing an experiment. It was like a side thing because my other blog is about making money on the internet, right? But I just wanted to see, I just started this CrossFit blog and I just wanted to see what would happen if I posted something every single day. And a lot of the content that I got, because I went to the gym every day. So a lot of the content that I got would be something that my coach said, where I'd have like a breakthrough that wasn't just in my strength, but it was in my mindset, and I would come away, sometimes I'd be in tears or just like have this huge aha moment, like where I'd realized that I'm setting limits for myself that don't actually exist. And it took getting screamed at by a coach to actually push myself further than I thought I could. But then I did what he said, and I was able to do it even after I said I can't. And he told me to stop saying you can't, just do it. And I was like crying. And then I stopped saying I can't, and I did it. And I was like, I didn't know I could do that. So I went home and wrote a blog post about that. False limitations that we make up, whatever, so every day I would learn something from my coach. And, or, I was posting other stuff on my blog too. I would post like a recipe that I would go, I was always looking for paleo recipes and whatever, so anything that I was doing in my like CrossFit life, I would use it as content. Same exact thing we're talking about here. So a lot of that content came from my coach. So if you hire a coach for anything that has to do with your business, that's a great way to come up with stuff that you can turn around and share. And then the last piece is, and Todd already mentioned it, is coming to trainings like this. You show up for some type of a training, you see them everywhere now. You scroll through Facebook and you'll see a webcast about this and a webcast about this and free webinar on this topic and that topic. So whatever your niche is, chances are you're seeing trainings that are happening that are relevant for your niche and the stuff that you need to learn to become a master in your niche. So go to some of these trainings and then learn, learn what they're teaching. And then the next day you can create a blog post or a YouTube video about what you learned. Just like Todd said before, you can teach this concept that we're teaching you right now. You can teach this to your audience tomorrow or tonight. So anytime you go to a training, I think these live trainings are actually a really, really, really good way. Not just our live trainings, any live training that you go to, because the stuff that's being taught live is always current, like what's working now kind of stuff. Nobody's going to go live and teach a strategy that worked 20 years ago that's not like effective anymore. They're not going to show their screen and be able to teach on the Facebook algorithm that's different, from the past. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be current if it's live. So it's a really good way to be able to provide really current content for your audience as well. So over to you, Todd.
Awesome. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But I think the key that separates the people that I see succeed and the people that stay stuck and feel a little bit like they're just not making progress is just what you said. Um, when you go to these trainings and you learn something, actually, take notes, implement what they're saying, and then teach it. Because you actually learn more by teaching and doing it than you do just by learning. And and that is where you start building traction. Because if you're just always learning and learning and learning and not really implementing, you're really not going to make any progress. So, and I know because I did that for years. So, and another thing I'll say about that real quick is you might think you're working hard on your business by attending every training that is on the internet, but if you don't actually do something and then actually teach it to others, you're really not okay. And so I hope that that's a breakthrough for somebody that watches this video, because it was for me. I thought that I was busy in my business, but I was really just doing busy work and learning and not actually doing. It's kind of like just as a regular job, you can go to college for 4 6 whatever years and learn all this information, but till you actually get on the job and learn and actually on the job training and actually do it, and then if you can actually teach it to others, you're not really going to gain any traction. So definitely, I agree with you 100%, Amy, on the training. I still learn all the time. The difference is the old Todd from years and years ago would learn it and go, wow, that's pretty cool, and then not do anything. The new Todd is strategic about learning. I will learn it. I will take notes. I will do it. And then I'll make content or teach it to others in some sort of way, because I've seen value in it. And then I actually learn more by teaching it to others. And I feel like I gain this other level of learning than just sitting there watching. So completely agree with you. These live streams are golden, but you just need to actually do some stuff, take action, and teach it to others. And that, if you want to know a secret about jump starting your business, if you're new, this is the secret. It really is. Just get in and start doing it, even if you don't feel ready, because chances are you'll never feel ready. Not to the point where you think that you are, but trust us. Like Amy said, you only have to be one step ahead. And on that note, on the one step ahead, there was a movie out years and years ago called Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks, and it was about this Leonardo DiCaprio played this character. I'll probably not pronounce his name right, but it's like Frank Abagnale. But this Frank character, he masqueraded as like a pilot, as like a teacher, as all these different things throughout the movie, and the FBI was always trying to catch up to him, but he was like super super quick and sharp at what he did. He could pick up and go masquerade as these different people in different occupations. Well, when they finally caught up to him, he had taught the sociology class one time, and obviously he wasn't a teacher. And the FBI caught up to him and they said, well, how did you teach this advanced semester of sociology when you don't know anything about it? And he said it was simple. I just read one chapter ahead. And that's true. You only need to be one chapter ahead. Just realize that there's millions and millions of people out there that you're one chapter ahead by attending like a training like this or reading some content. You know something that somebody out there doesn't know. And that's your audience, by the way. You don't want to target people that are gurus or experts, obviously. You want to target the people that are just one chapter behind or two chapters behind, and you will attract the following. I mean, it's just a matter of time. So some really good information there. Real quick, I just wanted to say there's another thing. There's a misconception out there that you know that there's that if you create content that everybody else is creating, that it's already saturated, and there's too much information out there. Well, it is true that there's a lot of information out there, but it's like Amy said, I mean, it's your spin on this information, and it's you are unique. Your personality is unique, your accent's unique, how you come across is unique. People are going to attract to you. Now, not everybody will, and you really wouldn't want everybody to attract to you, but you're going to attract certain people that relate to you. Amy attracts certain people that relate to her, the way she presents her content, her lifestyle, the way she comes across on camera. Certain people will relate to me, and there's certain people that will relate to you. You are special. There's nobody else like you in this world. So don't underestimate yourself and think that, oh, why would anybody follow me? They will. I mean, the people want to attract to whatever they feel attracted to, and that will be you for some people, that will be Amy for some people, that will be me for some people. So don't undercut yourself on that, and don't hold yourself back with those kind of thoughts, because I know a lot of people do. Last thing I'll say, and I think you kind of touched on this, but some people are like, well, how do I find content to learn, do, and teach about? And you touched on a lot of them, Amy, but I was going to try to list a few more. So YouTube videos that you watch, blog posts that you read, anything that you're searching for on the internet, chances are if you're searching for it and it's in your whatever your niche is or what your specialty is, there's other people searching for it too. Books you read. I did, there was a month or two of videos I did on YouTube, and I would just take a couple of chapters that I read out of a book that I really was getting a lot out of, and I would summarize it and put it in my own words, and I put content out there. So books, podcasts, if you're a podcast type of person, a lot of people listen to podcasts while they're doing other things, while they're driving, while they're working out, while they're doing other things. So you can kind of make more efficient use of your time that way too. But as you learn stuff in podcasts, you can go out there and learn, do, teach, and you can teach that and create content for others. Products you purchase and learn, like Amy was talking about, there's lots of great trainings out there. And if you're going to put the time and effort and go in to purchase a product, go into it with a purpose. Your purpose should be to not only learn it, but to do it, to implement it, and then to teach it and use that for content ideas. I mean, that's a great way. Facebook live streams are popular, right? Definitely, you can use that. Facebook group research, if you're in any groups, you can use that. Once you get a little bit more followers and everything, you can always survey your audience, but starting out, obviously, that's a little tough. And then note comments that people leave on competitors' blogs or YouTube or any forums or groups. So in other words, if people are leaving comments and asking questions, that means that people are looking for that kind of information. So that gives you some ideas on what people are interested in, and that might give you some content ideas to create as well. So, I mean, learn, do, teach it doesn't sound that sexy, and I don't hear a lot of people teaching this out there, but believe us, I mean, it really works. And especially if you're brand new, that's the best way to get some traction, is just to go out there, learn something, do it, and teach it. And I promise you, if you stick with that, you're going to start seeing some traction, where if you just stick in that learning mode, you're going to stay frustrated for a while. So
Yeah. And, sticking with it, being consistent is the key to this, because in order for people to really follow you, you need to be consistently giving them something to follow and something to learn. And so what's great about this strategy, this concept, is that as long as you're learning, you never run out of content. So you can always be consistent. Some weeks I'm like, I have like 10 YouTube videos I want to shoot because I learned so much and there's all this cool stuff. Even like just like little simple things that I learn about, something on Facebook, how it works, or, and I'm like, I didn't know that. Like somebody else needs to know that too. And I might add, some of those really what seems silly, simple videos that I've created over the years have been the ones that have gotten the most views on YouTube and have generated the most leads for me in my business. Which I know you're kind of like, how does a YouTube video generate leads? You might not understand. We're going to talk a little bit about that now. I know we don't have a whole lot of time left, but when you are teaching and putting content out there to teach people, there's a way that you can actually offer them the opportunity to go further with you by offering them like something for free, like a free PDF or something that they can leave their contact information for, to get additional information to take it a step further. And when they do that, they get added to your mailing list, and then that's how you build your audience. And so um, we're gonna talk about that. I'll I'll pass it back over to Todd, but I just wanted to say, like, in order to be able to do this, there are tools that you're going to need to build a business on the internet. And so at the end of each of these trainings, we're going to talk a little bit about that so that you can start to understand how this all works, because right now you might be like, that's great. I can teach stuff, but how does that get me anywhere? Right. So Todd, do you want to
Yeah, no, that's a great
explain all
point.
that?
Because I mean, if you're just teaching and you don't have a strategy about it, you really only have a hobby. You won't have a business. Because I mean, I know lots of bloggers out there that are really good at teaching, but they don't know how to monetize, and they don't necessarily, monetize their business. Where basically there should be a goal for teaching, and the goal should be to capture a lead, get a lead. And some people might be saying, well, what is that? Well, have you ever like clicked on a link after a YouTube video or a blog or any in a Facebook group, and it takes you to a page and it says, hey, get this really cool thing. You just enter your name and email, and you're like, yeah, I want that cool thing, of course. And you enter your name and email, and then it takes you to another page where either they offer you that cool thing or they're telling you a little bit about it, and then you get an email about it. Well, that's a lead capture page, and that's what your goal should be. Your number one goal in your business shouldn't be to make money. And I know a lot of people are going to say, Todd, are you crazy? It shouldn't be. It should be to get that lead, because once you get that lead, you can follow up with that lead. And industry standards and statistics and everything I've read over the years says usually most people won't buy on the first introduction to a product. They call it 7 touches, but they really need to be introduced to the product or service at least 7 times before they're interested in making a buying decision anyway. And by the way, they usually don't buy from strangers. So you got to build this relationship with them, build a rapport. And the best way to do that is to do the learn, do, teach method. And you can teach via your content. And what is content? That's either blog posts or podcasts or YouTube videos or whatever, Facebook posts. But then your ultimate goal from your content and your teaching is to send them to a lead capture page where they can enter their name and email and get the really cool stuff that you're offering. And then they go on your email list. And we'll talk more about more of the technical details of email lists and stuff afterwards. But once you have their name and email address, then you can follow up with them and build that rapport, that know, like, and trust. It's super, super important to build know, like, and trust if you want to have a successful business, because people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And they can't get to know, like, and trust you if they're only seeing you one time and done. They can see you in a YouTube video and that's great, but then they're on to the next thing. But if they see you in a YouTube video teaching something awesome, and then they click and enter their name and email, now you've got them in your database, and you can follow up with them with other emails to build more know, like, and trust on, with the way that you want to build that relationship versus them just randomly coming across you by finding your content one time. So I'm going to share my screen real quick, and I'm going to show you a cool tool that we use to actually capture that lead information that is so important. That should be your ultimate goal with all of your everything you teach. You should be trying to link them and take them to a lead capture system. So I'm going to share my screen real quick, and let me see if I can find the right screen to share here. Um, for some reason, it's not giving me the option. Hold on a second, Amy.
Okay.
I might have it on the Zoom thing. here.
I'll just fill in the gap while you're doing that, and just say that, so there's a lot of different platforms and tools out there that will help you do this. Todd and I happen to use the same one. Both of us have used pretty much all of the other ones that are out on the market. I can't say I've used them all. I'm sure there's some like smaller ones I've never heard of or whatever, but we recently started using this one that is just, we both love it and swear by it. It's a lot more user friendly than most of the other ones out there, and it's a lot more cost effective. So anyway, back over to you, Todd. I see your screen.
Yeah, cool. So you can see it. Still hear me okay? All right.
Yep.
Yeah, my my controls jump to the top of the screen when I share, so it's like all over the place. But yeah, I mean, like Amy said, I mean, we both used tons of lead capture systems over the years, something that captures people's name and email. And quite frankly, this is the easiest one we've ever used or I've ever used. And it's also the cheapest one I've ever used. So it was a no-brainer to me. But I just wanted to show off some of the features of this. I mean, we're not going to go into the details tonight. We're going to try to show you a little feature that if it's relevant to what we're teaching, we'll show you it. But basically, you can create beautiful pages. This page right here was created with this lead capture system. So
Todd created this page. This is not a page built by the company. It looks like it is, but it's not. Todd made this page.
Yeah, correct. And it was so fun to build and so easy. It's
addicting, isn't it? Because like
yeah.
it's same with me. Every time I start doing stuff, it's so fun. It's so easy to move stuff around and change the colors, and so it becomes kind of addicting. And it has all these ninja features that just make.
I was really geeking out when I was making this. I was like, oh, it's so fun, you know. But even if you're not technical, I mean, it makes it so easy. It's all drag and drop. But it's, you know, people think of a capture page and they just think of that, enter your name and email, and that is what this does, but it does so much more too. I mean, if you wanted to create just a website or, you know, any type of beautiful page, sales pages, membership sites, but I'll just go through some of the features real quick. Basically, it is what they call a web page builder or a funnel builder, because you can build sales funnels with that, and we will talk more about sales funnels in another training. We don't have time tonight, but it's just drag and drop. I mean, it's super easy to use. It's only $25 a month, which is unheard of. I've paid, you know, hundreds of dollars a month for a competing product, and one of the, you know, it's still one of the best in the market, but it's just it's not as easy and simple to use as this one, and I can tell you that. But you can build web pages, premium designs. It's mobile responsive, which is really cool. A lot of the other funnel builders, web page, capture page softwares out there, you'll build a page that looks good on desktop, but then you go on mobile and it's all messed up. It's all jacked up. This one just does it out of the box. Membership sites, and you can do sales pages. You can do checkout pages. You can, you know, if you are selling physical products or digital products and you want to integrate it with your merchant account, you can do that. It's got just amazing features.
And a lot of that stuff, let me just say, like membership sites, a lot of times are like $300 a month, you know, depending on what platform you're using. Or, you know, you pay $40 or $50 a month, but the company takes a cut of your sales. Like there's all this other stuff. This is just for $25 a month, you get all this, and they don't take any of your stuff.
Yeah, you've experienced that. I know we've had conversations on that before. And it's really cool because they have step-by-step video training. And if you want to refer this to others, they pay an unheard of 80% commissions. I mean, most you know, places, when you're an affiliate for them, you're lucky to get, you know, Amazon, you're lucky to get anywhere from 3 to 8% when you're selling on Amazon as an Amazon Associates affiliate. I mean, here you're talking 80%, and there's no fees to be an affiliate. There's no admin fees. So, I mean, you can actually recommend this to others and make $20 a month reoccurring, which is amazing. But here's what I really wanted to focus on: this easy lead generation and capture pages. This is what we were talking about. When you want to have a lead capture page, you can build beautiful pages like this. And this is actually a template that comes like many other templates out of the box. And I think what I'm going to do is just go over to the back part of it real quick. Yeah. And just show you how easy this is. So this is actually that page that Amy was talking about that I built. And you can see when you hover over anything, it's just so easy to drag and drop. But you can go over here and I'll tell you, this software is so good. And this is a testament of it. I have never built this many pages in any of the other software that I've used ever. Look at
It's
this.
so fast.
It's
I
fast and it's
have
addictive.
more than you, I think.
It's so addictive. I'm like, oh, I can build this page. I can build this page. But it's
Hmm.
just so easy. You click on add new step, you go to page, and say you're wanting to do lead generation. Now we have all kinds of templates in there. I would dare say there's hundreds of different templates. But say you're going for lead generation where you want to capture somebody's name and email. You can choose from one of these beautiful designs, and you can throw it up there in minutes, or you can make your own. But if say you're just saying, well, I would really like to just choose one of these, you just pick a template, and they're all so beautiful. And you can preview them. You can just sit there and preview the template to see what it looks like.
You
But
can
isn't
change
that
out the image, you can change the colors.
everything? Isn't that amazing? It's just, I mean, I call it the sexiest funnel builder I've ever used. Now, say we selected this and just give it a name like Demo Live. Just give it a name, a unique name here. You can go in here and, like Amy said, you just click on this. And if you want to change out the image, then you would just click on the image and set the image on the background to whatever you wanted. You know, say I wanted an image, I don't know, how about a
Do a
dog?
dog,
Yes, the,
bulldog.
the dog always wins. Now you got, you could just, yeah, isn't that great? And then you connect this and you got name, email. You can take off the phone number if you don't need the phone number. You can edit any of these fields. You say, I'm not so sure I want their phone number on this one. You just click it and okay, now it's name and email. You update the headline with your amazing headline. You can put a logo on there. All of this stuff is editable and it's super simple and easy to do. And it's just, I've never actually had a page builder or a lead capture page or funnel builder that is not only this easy to use, but so fun. Literally, I've never built that many pages in another system before because it was so frustrating and grinding to build a page. You build the page on desktop and then you try to build it on mobile and then you try to build it on other platforms. And to that point, if I save these changes real quick and I go to preview it, look how beautiful it looks on desktop. And you see these animations. Those aren't easy to do on other funnel builders, are they? I mean, they're buried somewhere in the software if they're even available. These come out of the box, but you can click on tablet view. And then there's our favorite dog right there in tablet view. Animations
Favorite
again.
dog.
What's up, dog? Here's mobile. And again, I didn't have to tweak the mobile at all, and it just looks beautiful. So that's why we really love this funnel builder. And that's why when you're doing your content and sending people and you're teaching them, you want to send them somewhere where you can grab their name and email, and that way you can follow up with them for as long as they're part of your database. And that's, they say that your email list is your number one asset in an online business, and I still believe that's the case even today in 2020. What about you, Amy?
I 100% agree, because you can build a following on a social media site and you can have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of followers on social media. But number one, when people are on social media, they're distracted by other people. They're not a captive audience. Number two, you don't own your followers on social media because you can lose your account at any time. When you build an email list, you can follow up with your people. And when Todd was talking about following up with people, we're not talking about individually sending emails to all these people, because once you start to have thousands of people on your email list, you're not going to write 1,000 different emails. But these email platforms all allow you to have it automatically fill in their first name, so you can say, "Hi, Amy." And I'm like, you feel like the person feels like you're writing to them, but you're writing to everybody. And you can also load in, it's called an autoresponder, because you can load in some emails in a sequence that go out once somebody puts their contact information in on a page like this to get your free guide about how to train your dog or whatever this would be. They're going to get an email from you saying, here you go, here's your free guide with a link to their PDF or whatever. And then after that, you're going to have other emails loaded in that are going to go out like one a day or every other day, or however you tell it how often you want them to go out. And then you just start to what we call drip on your on your people, because like Todd said, it usually takes about 7 touches until someone's ready to take out their credit card and buy something from you. So the biggest mistake that we see, and you see it too, and you might be doing it, I don't know, is you see people like spamming links to buy stuff from them on social media. Like, I have the best, health and wellness products. Here's my link. Go buy stuff. Nobody's going to buy stuff. They don't know you. You haven't created any rapport with them. You haven't given them any value at all. So that's the thing about this, is when they're given their contact information, you're giving them something valuable in return. You're giving them a cheat sheet with 10 tips how to train their dog. I mean, they love you already. And then you start emailing them with some additional tips and giving them the opportunity to ask you questions and all of this stuff, so that when in your like 6th or 7th email, when you're like, and by the way, I wrote a book on this topic if you want to purchase my book, or I have a whole course, an online course that shows you videos about exactly how to train your dog. It's $297, and here's the link. Like, don't you think you'd be much more likely to buy something from somebody that's been like giving you value throughout this whole process, rather than just randomly sending you a link on Facebook saying, I have this $297 dog training product, want to buy it? Completely different. And that's why this whole process that we taught you tonight about the learn, do, teach is, like, this dog training person could be learning different dog training techniques each day and just creating blog posts and emailing them to these people that are on their email list, and just constantly being a person of value, so that when you do have something to sell, people are much more likely to buy something from you. And I still to this day have people that buy stuff from me that have been on my email list for years and have never purchased anything from me. And all of a sudden, like, they buy something. They're like, I've been on your list for 4 years, because if it was just some random person on Facebook, they wouldn't be seeing everything I'm doing. So that's why your email list is the biggest asset, like Todd said.
Yeah, I just stopped sharing because you're exactly right. I mean, um, one of my mentors once told me, he's like, there's a right day for somebody to buy every day. It's just, you just never know when that day is. But you got to keep providing value, building that relationship and rapport. And if you do a good job at that, it will be the right day for somebody every day. And depending on how many people you have in your database, that could be a lot of somebody's on any given day. So a lead capture system is a must. It's one of the 3 essential tools in your business. We'll talk more about that in another training, because I think we're running a little short on time. But yeah, you're exactly right.
Yep. Yeah. So thanks for that overview. And so our plan is to each week, Todd and I are building funnels all the time. You saw how many he has. I think I have him beat. Not sure. Because it's so easy to do. And so again, anytime you learn something or get a result with something, you can actually create a piece of content that you can give away as like a free guide or a free gift that people can give you their email address to get. And so we're always thinking of other ways that we can, we create pages for different things that we can offer and give away. And different, you can have more than one page giving away the same thing, it's just to use in different places or to see which one works better or whatever. And like I said, I find this builder pretty addicting, because like every time I use it, I uncover something really cool about it. And like I said, I've been doing this for 15 years, and I've tried and used and still use, because I have so much content in some of the other ones that I've used. So I was telling Todd today, I was using one of the other ones for another business that I have that it just has a gazillion funnels in it. So I still go in there to do stuff sometimes. And it's after using this one, that one just feels so clunky to me. And it costs more than this one, which is crazy. But what I was saying is every time I go in here to tweak a funnel or to create a new page or whatever, I feel like I uncover something I didn't know that it did. Like such cool stuff. Like they have this global styling where you can go in and like put your brand colors in there so that it automatically makes your buttons a certain color on every page you create. You can go ahead, you can edit it and change it. But if you want everything to be consistent across the board, you can do that. You can load your own fonts. You can, I mean, there's so much stuff and we're constantly uncovering that. So our goal on these trainings is to just kind of continue to show you how this works and some of these cool features, and then also just give you the opportunity to purchase it and try it. It's $25 a month. There's no contracts or hidden fees or anything like that. So, you know, I recommend spending the $25 and just building a page. This platform also comes with training, like in-depth training that you can access right from the builder, where you can bring up the videos that show you exactly step by step what to do so that you can, go ahead and show them that, Todd. I've never seen another platform with this. Yeah, you click help and these videos come up and you can see where it says funnel builder setup and funnel builder training. You click on that, it tells you exactly what to do. And you can just watch the video and do it right here on the same screen. It's incredible. Yeah, so it's very unique in that way. So what I recommend is, spend $25 and just give this thing a test drive. And, if you don't like it, then you don't have to continue with it. But to me, it's incredible. And like Todd briefly mentioned, they pay an 80% commission. So if you like it and you refer it to people, you'll make $20 for each person that you refer. And that's residual every single month. So you spend 25. If you refer one person, now you're only paying 5 because you're making 20 back. If you refer 2, you're in profit and everything after that. And it adds up quick because again, this is a tool that everybody needs if they're building a business online. And a lot of people might already have one that they're using, a different one, like we were saying, but they're paying a lot more. And it doesn't have all the features this one has. So anyway, like I said, we want to just continue to showcase some of the different features that we find. If you do end up purchasing the funnel builder, the other thing that it comes with is there's a premium level where you get access to all of the marketing training, like how to rank your videos on YouTube and all of that. Even if you don't have that, that comes with a marketing mastermind that happens on Monday nights. The first Monday of the month is for everybody that owns the funnel builder. It doesn't matter if you're premium or not, that where the community comes together and people share their screens and show these different funnels that they've built and share different like ninja things that this thing does. And so it's just a really good way to learn more about just get so many different ideas from people that are using it and getting results with it. So, even if you've never used a platform like this before, it's very user friendly and there's so much support. And if you are already using a different platform, I still recommend spending the $25 and just you'll see a huge difference with this one, and you're going to get more bang for your buck. Literally, you're going to spend less, you're going to save money, and you're going to end up with more features than you
I
probably
think we
have
need to
right now.
put like a big banner over this training that says, warning, this product is addictive.
Yeah.
It really is. It's amazing. And
Yeah.
I can't say enough about it. I mean,
It'll do
it's,
anything. Like if you see a page that you like on the internet, you can literally create a page that looks exactly like that. Like it's customizable in every way. I mean, you can literally, and that's not the case with some of these other ones that I've used. Like some of the other ones, like if you're using a template, everything has to be where it is on the template. That's not the case here. Like everything, you can move everything around. Every color is editable. Every font is editable. You can add your own fonts. It's amazing. So it is addicting. It makes you feel powerful when you can
I
create such
look what
cool
I have
stuff.
created. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. And it's fun too on those Monday nights with the funnel builder masterminds, because people are like, I want to show mine.
Yeah, everybody's proud of everything they created. They're just so beautiful too. I mean, so yeah,
And some of the membership sites people have created, it's unheard of to be able to build a membership site for $25 a month. And
yeah.
and the back end hooks up if you're taking payments for your membership site, or if you have a product that you're selling, it hooks up to Stripe, PayPal, your bank account. Like, it has like a whole list of different ways that you can take payments. I've never seen that either.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Can't say enough about it. So how can they get this awesome product, Amy?
You can get this awesome product simply by clicking the button below this video. And the cool thing is that if somebody else sent you here, they will get credit for the sale. Not we won't, they will. Because the other cool thing that this this page that you're watching this video on was also built with the funnel builder. And the cool thing about this platform is that they have the code in place where we can create a replicating page where other people can send people here, and the button automatically codes to give them credit for their sales. So the button
That,
on this page, even if someone else sent you here, is going to give them credit for the sale. And that being said, the other cool thing about being a part of this whole thing and the funnel builder is that, in upcoming weeks, as we do these trainings, you can send your people here to learn marketing strategies and mindset strategies and learn more about the funnel builder. And if they purchase it, you'll get credit for the sale and we'll do the selling for you. I know Todd wanted to say something else about that.
no, I was just going to say that's unheard of in any other funnel builder I've ever used. And any web software trying to be able to create a replicating page like this, I mean, that usually requires a custom developer or a lot of money. I know some people that paid $500, $800 for software that does that. And that's why we were so stoked when we found out about this feature, because we want to share this with everybody. We want to train everybody. We want everybody to learn through this live stream. But if you can also learn and then send other folks to this, and when they purchase, you get credit for the sale and not us, isn't that amazing? I mean, that's what we really wanted to accomplish. And that's what sparked this whole idea, to be able to share this with everybody. Because at the end of the day, if we make sales, that's great. We make sales all the time. But if we can help others make sales with this, then that word will spread, and then those folks will want to do more. They'll get inspired, and they'll want to share more with others. So that's our main goal, is to share the message, to help others, and to help others generate leads and sales. At the end of the day, that's it. So
Well, and the cool thing is, like we were saying, if you refer two people, you now have this whole platform for free, right? Because you're making $40 a month and you're only spending 25. So all of the stuff that we're showing you, you don't even have to pay for it once you've referred two people. It's really easy. This thing sells itself, right? So think about that as well. If you're already using another platform, or if you know that you need one, like, I don't know anywhere else that you can basically get all this stuff for free just by referring two people. And not even just for free, but you're also putting some money in your bank account. And so
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's exciting because, I know a lot of people, especially when they're starting out, they want to make that first sale, or they want to just get in a profit. And that should be your goal, really, when you're starting out, is you shouldn't have to pay for your tools. You should have your tools pay you. And this tool pays for itself again and again and again. I've never seen one that's so easy. Like Amy said, it sells itself. So by getting the tool and then referring to, just getting two, you're already in the profit, and then the tool pays you. And it's just such an awesome product. I mean, I know we're up here like, excited about this, but once you get your hands on this thing, I mean, I'm telling you, it is just so fun to use, and it's so easy is the main thing. So
and it comes with an amazing community. I mean, that's where Todd and I met, inside of the community. You get instant access to a Facebook group. You get access to those Monday night funnel builder masterminds I was talking about. And then, if you want to learn the marketing strategies, they're all in there too if you upgrade to the premium. And then part of the premium membership is these weekly masterminds where you get on with a bunch of other marketers and you learn marketing strategies every week, which is awesome too. So,
And then you can learn to teach.
Absolutely. So we hope to see you inside of our community. And this replay, just so you know, will stay on this page until we go live again next week. So you can send people here. You can rewatch it if you want. You can come back to this page anytime, and the replay will just be here. Once we go live next week, then that video will replace this one. But if you came late and you didn't see the beginning, as soon as we end, the replay will be there and you can watch the beginning and so forth. So feel free to come back as much as you want, share this page, share it with your people. If you're somebody that owns the funnel builder, you can share this page. We showed our people how to do it. It's super, super, super simple. You can send people here to get this training, and if they purchase the funnel builder, you will get the credit for the sale too. So that's what we're here for. So again, the replay will stay up on this page for a week. Is there anything else, Todd, that
Nope, I think we've covered everything. It's a win-win. You get, send people to some good training, and then give them the opportunity to look at this cool, amazing tool. So, and anybody you send here, if you own the product and you have your own ID, you will get credit for the sale when they purchase. So
awesome. All right. Well, I hope you guys have gotten some value out of this, and we'll see you back here, same place, same time next week. And in the meantime, this video will be here for the week. And I hope to see you guys out there learning, doing, and teaching all kinds of cool stuff in your niche. Let us know if you have any questions or anything along the way. Feel free to come back and put them here in the comment stream too. We'll get them, and we'll get your questions answered, and we'll get you whatever help you need to. All right.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Amy, for setting all this up. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see you guys soon.